All right, welcome everybody. ASAP Grim here, and this is episode number 1 for Elden Ring. I have a timer countdown set for 30 minutes going. I really don't know if I'm going to run 30 minutes or an hour per episode. I have to get a feel for that. We might find that out as we do the series. We might find that out in this video. I'm just not sure. So, we're going to move over to the Confessor. I'm going to take the male body. And I think I'm going to name this one Grim. I'm going to name him Grim. And we're going to go into detailed appearance. And I'm going to load up this character right here. Yeah, it works for me. Good enough. And he has salty hair, salt and pepper hair. He's got blue eyes. We're going to give him mature voice 1, which sounds like that. And let's see, we'll go, let me look at the body. All right, I think that is correct. And we will be taking golden seed, a golden seed washed ashore from the lands between, said to reinforce sacred flasks. We'll take that. Let's see, switch view. Can I get him with the hood on up close? No, apparently not. We'll hardly ever see this guy's face. It's not a huge deal, but that's what he looks like. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask, Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between. To stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
Okay, here we are. I play in offline mode. I don't like the clutter of seeing ghosts of other players running around. The idea of PvP invasion doesn't appeal to me at this time. And all of the various player messages that you can read also just seem like clutter to me. So I play in offline mode. If that's causing me to miss out on some content or significant things, please let me know in the comments, because I'm operating at a point of ignorance here. Though the path be broken and uncertain, claim your place as Elden Lord. Okay, so this is maybe a good place where we can see what our character looks like in game. Okay. So the intro video is cool but cryptic. We have things that we need to learn. We know that we're tarnished, and that the shattering of the Elden Ring has led to some problems. Now here's our first look at the world. It's very pretty. We're in the Chapel of Anticipation. And the thing that dominates the landscape is this tree here. I think it's called the Erd tree. And it is fed by the Elden Ring. Whenever the Elden Ring was shattered, it didn't kill the Erd tree, but this tree is very much diminished as I understand it. And if I'm not mistaken, and I might be, I think what is going on here is that this tree is kind of like a ward. When it's in its right condition, it acts as a ward that keeps abominations in their own realm and away from this world. But because the Elden Ring was shattered and this tree is at a greatly diminished state, that ward is extremely weakened, and that's why this place is covered up in foul creatures. I'm not totally sure if I've got that right or not. I'm piecing this stuff together very slowly, watching bits and pieces of stuff online without trying to give myself spoiler alerts, you know. So Let's go ahead and get rolling. I see a lot of people rolling through boxes. I guess in Dark Souls, the Dark Souls games, you can find loot in some of these chests. I have yet to see anybody find loot in any of their Let's Plays that way in this game, so I'm not going to do it. Got the creaking of the bridge here. Okay. Here we go. Lock on. I don't know how this is gonna go. It doesn't usually go well at all for me. Not even close to good. Oh, that's creepy. Got me twice. I didn't even get a shot in.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on his side. We found him here, after all. One of his kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
Okay, we get the Flask of Crimson Tears. This is a health potion. And we get the Flask of Cerulean Tears, and that is a mana potion. They call it FP in this game. I think that might stand for Faith Points. I'm not 100%. But you'll probably hear me refer to it as mana, because that's what I'm used to. Okay, so we heard her say, now we know that we're tarnished, and apparently it's against the Golden Order for tarnished to seek the Elden Ring. So we need to know what the Golden Order is, it sounds like. And it also sounds like tarnished are considered maybe like a serf class, like they are non-nobility, and maybe that's why they're not allowed to seek the Elden Ring. I don't know. We need to find those things out. The Cave of Knowledge lies below. Brave tarnished, take the plunge of learning and remembrance. Recall the arts of war and your warrior's blood. Okay. Is there anything here to pick up? No. So what we are supposed to do here is drop off this edge. This is the tutorial, basically. And looks like that's the first time I've ever made it down here without having to use a health potion. But it actually kind of wants you to learn how to use the health potion. We would press X to make that happen. Now this is a grace point of grace, sites of grace. Resting at a site of grace will restore your hit points, faith points, or mana, and cleanse any status ailments. It will also refill your sacred flasks. However, most of the enemies you've defeated will be revived. You can find sites of grace by going where light converges. These explanations are acquired in the form of info items and can be accessed from the inventory at any time. Okay. Touch grace. So these are like the bonfires from the Dark Souls games. Let's go ahead and because we took that golden seed, we have one that we can increase. We can add a charge to our flask. I guess both of them. Use one golden seed to increase your number of flask uses. Yes. Added a charge to flask of crimson tears. Okay. So it was only the health potion, which is the one that I wanted. We can access our flasks. Let's see. Memorize spell. With the Memorize Spells menu, you can memorize sorceries and incantations. You must have a staff equipped to cast sorceries or a sacred seal equipped to cast incantations. Casting sorceries and incantations consumes FP. Your memory slots determine the number of sorceries and incantations you can memorize. You can increase your memory slots by obtaining a memory stone. Okay. These are our heals. It looks like they're already equipped or memorized. And you can read information. You can pause and read if you want. There on the right. And there's Assassin's Approach right there. Silent footsteps reduces fall damage and sound. Okay. We have a chest that we can store stuff in. With this menu, you can place items that you're carrying into the chest for storage or take stored items out of the chest. If you are already carrying the maximum number of items when you pick up a new item, it will be stored in the chest automatically. That's nice. Okay, again, we have stats to the right. Memory of Grace, lose all runes. Return to last site of lost grace visited. So that's like a hearthstone maybe. And then the tarnished wizened finger is what we would use to write messages for other players to see. Okay, that was everything that I wanted to accomplish there. Okay, so it wants us to lock on. Attack, right hand, and two-handed armament. Okay, then it auto-locked onto this guy right here. You can memorize sorceries and incantations at sites of grace. You must have a staff equipped to cast sorceries or a sacred seal equipped to cast incantations. Casting sorceries and incantations consumes FP. So it wants me to cast one, I guess, but I'm not going to do that in this situation. I'm going to do a counter. Okay. But if we wanted to cast one, I would press my left directional pad to switch over to the seal. And then I would press up to alternate between my different learned spells. And I would use my shield button, the left button, to cast that. And then return to the shield. Use an armament in your left hand or both hands to guard against incoming attacks. Guarding is especially effective when done with a shield. Guarding consumes stamina. If your stamina runs out, your stance will be broken. Left button to guard. I'm going to actually, well, yeah, we'll go with what he says. And that was a guard counter with a heavy strike. You can avoid enemy attacks with a dodge roll or backstep. Both of these actions consume stamina. I did 2 quick strikes there on him. Notice our cape now has blood on it. Okay, right here, there's a guy up there with an arrow. So we're going to sprint by holding B. In every corner of the lands between, you will find fruits and flowers, mushrooms and butterflies, and various other useful materials. These materials can be used for item crafting. See, that's one of the things I need to learn about, item crafting. All right. Each hand can be equipped with up to 3 armaments, allowing you to toggle between them. Armaments can also be two-handed, making attacks more difficult to repel with shields and boosting effective strength by 50%. So it wants us to switch to a two-handed stance by pressing Y and then the right button. All right. And this would be to two-hand the shield. And they act like toggles. You just press it again to go back to normal. So you can two-hand the left hand or the right hand. While locked onto a target, change target. And you do that with your just moving your camera. Oh shoot! And I didn't mean to use my my flask there. That kind of sucks. Oh. Armaments have special abilities called skills. Skills are highly varied and range from powerful attacks to temporary effects. Using skills consumes FP. Left trigger for skill. Okay, I'm going to try and use it here. It's a timed, for this, it's that right there. It's, I forget what it's like a riposte. You're creating a glancing blow and then countering off of that. But your timing's got to be perfect. See, it staggers them. I think I got both of those. That first one, I was surprised I got that one. I thought I was late as heck. Let's use an urgent heal. Crouch to make it harder for enemies to discover you, especially effective in tall grass. Attacking an enemy that has not noticed you will cause more damage than usual. So here's our sneak. All characters can do this. Now, that was an assassination, guys. That's a backstab. But what I have learned is that if you're moving forward, you won't get it. You need to move up behind your enemy and let go of your movement key or your movement thumb pad for just a moment. That right there would be enough, and then you can strike and it'll backstab them. You need about a half a second of wait time there. All right, we're going to try this again. All right, let's maybe try Assassin's Approach now. Whoops. Well, that didn't work for a backstab. Maybe you have to be crouched for the backstab to work. I'm not totally sure. But you can see our feet are glowing and he didn't hear us coming. We can move at full speed whenever that's active. Some attacks may break an enemy's stance, giving you a chance to perform a critical hit. Charge attacks and jump attacks make it particularly easy to break an enemy's stance. Let's see, it's going to be this, which opens him up for a critical hit. Stakes of Marika. Upon dying, you will be revived at the last site of grace that you visited. However, if there is a stake of Marika near where you died, you can choose to be revived there instead. And we're going to get a boss fight right here. You can perform a counterattack immediately after blocking an enemy attack. Guard counter to make it easy to break an enemy's stance. Right trigger immediately after blocking an attack for a guard counter. I didn't get my roll off. All right, and I'm now out of mana. Look at how detailed that cloak is. I mean, this character is awesome looking. I very much like him. He seems a little bit thick in the face from what I intended, but and that's with I have that face set up to be skinny, but he still looks good. I mean, maybe it might have to do with the aged appearance versus young. That's a sharp looking, very detailed character. The samurai also looks really cool. The game's really beautiful in its details. This Oh, there's our timer. So 30 minutes have rolled by. And we are right about at a natural save point. I'll show you. We got a new emote, strength. We will drop off the ledge here. There's to my knowledge, I have not found anything in this room. So I believe that we're just supposed to proceed forward. Here's another grace site or site of grace. Now I do want to rest so that we can refill our flasks and our mana. Let's wait until noon, I guess. All right, we have 4 flasks. Now, you can see we're blocked off here. We're walled off. We need some keys. Use stone sword key, and because there are 2 of these little gargoyle looking things, we actually need 2 keys. Okay. We might have had 1 key. I'm not really sure, but this one requires 2. So we'll come up here. Use tarnished furled finger to write a gold summon sign. Cooperative multiplayer will begin once you have been summoned by a player from another world. So obviously by playing offline, I don't have access to that. You can call in help from other players in other worlds, and I think that is honestly pretty neat. And you can also answer the call for help. I will maybe do that in a future chronicle, but right now things can get very framey, where you get FPS loss, you have lag, you have things like that. Also, for a first playthrough, I kind of want to learn how to do it on my own, and so that doesn't really appeal to me super strong at this point in time. Let's see. You will take the role of an ally, Furled Finger, and your objective is to defeat the area boss. The compass at the top of the screen indicates the direction of the summoner, who is the host of Fingers. And then we got the Finger Severer. And there's the tarnished Furled Finger. All right. Now we'll come up here, activate this portal. And that brings us up into this chamber. And here we are in Limgrave. Right there is a horse boss. From everything I've seen says you don't want to take that guy on right away. I also have done enough online research to know that going east is a bad idea. And I went out there with this character just trying to find fights to practice on, and I found some bosses out there, boss type characters, and I ain't ready for that stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on north, west. I've heard that south is a good starter area, so actually I haven't been over there yet. We might head for there first, just because I haven't seen it. All right, I want to grab that fruit. Go ahead and discover this statue. In each area, you may find effigies of martyrs. These effigies are summoning pools. You'll find it easy to summon other players at these locations, as co-op and hostile summoning signs created with small effigies gather at summoning pools. As co-op and hostile summoning signs created with small effigies gather at summoning pools. Okay. Small golden effigy has been acquired. Now we're going to come up here. We're going to discover this Lost Grace site. Let's take a look. There's the tree. There's a martyr. Gosh. Looks like he was burned. And you just kind of get a sense for the world. There seems to be a green and gold tent. Which there's a mod out there that removes that and makes this place more grim looking, I guess. I don't want it. I like the green and the black tent. I think this looks really nice. So that's all personal preference. But certainly for the first Chronicle, I want to be as close to vanilla as I can. Grace exists to guide the tarnished and lead them along the proper path. Even now, some sites of grace retain that power. Their golden rays will guide you along your way. All right, so you can see this yellow arcing light here is telling us that the next point of grace, if we were to follow like the main quest line, is going to be in that direction. Use your map to check your current position as well as the terrain and surrounding structures. You can update your map with new information by finding map fragments at steles along the road. You can also use the map to freely place beacons of light to serve as landmarks as you explore. Okay, this is the one NPC that I've talked to.
Oh, yes. Tarnished, are we? Come to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity.
Okay, so we are maidenless. And we're going to go ahead and close this episode right here. That's just basically covered the tutorial. And we'll get started with actual gameplay. And I think we are going to head south in the next episode. Again, I'm Aesop Grimm. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. And I will see you in the next episode where this story continues.